Buckle up because there's a lot to cover. As of February 19th, 2026, there's a proposed federal class action lawsuit that has been filed against Veterans United Home Loans. The complaint, filed by Hagens Berman, alleges potential violations of RESPA, including steering practices and referral fee structures that may have increased costs for veteran homebuyers. These are allegations that are in a filed complaint, but what myself and my buyers experienced in March 2025 was the beginning of my questioning, why I will always send my clients to local lenders that I know and trust. This is case number 226CV04039. The complaint alleges that preferred agents within the Veterans United network were required to pay a 35% referral fee to remain within their network, and that these payments may not have been in connection with the closing on a property transaction, which could raise issues under RESPA. In March 2025, I had a listing here locally in Berea, Kentucky. It's a small town. Everyone knows everyone. A buyer had reached out directly to my seller about the house. My seller calls me, and of course I know the buyer, so I call the buyer. We discussed starting the home buying process, but we hadn't signed anything yet. What did they do? They did what a lot of first-time home buyers do. They got online and they searched for VA lenders. And that's when they found Veterans United Home Loans. After they submitted their information, of course, they got a phone call from Veterans United, and they had told me specifically that they had been informed by whoever they had talked to that they needed to use one of the Veterans United agents. That is what they reported to me. Coincidentally, while I'm on the phone with the buyer, a notification pops up. It's the agent that they had been assigned to requesting a showing for my listing that they wanted to see. They hadn't spoken to her. They hadn't signed a buyer's representation agreement, which is required. At that moment, I made sure to have them sign the exclusive buyer's representation agreement. It's not because I wanted control. It's not because I wanted the paycheck. It's because I wanted to protect them. That is my legal and ethical obligation as a licensed agent. Me being me, what did I do? I called the loan officer directly and said, hey, my buyer said that they had gotten in contact with you and they were getting pre-approved, but they were told that they had to use one of your agents. And did you know that we have a signed buyer's representation agreement?
Veterans United this week.
Hey, this is Devin Ramsey. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm working with a set of home buyers, and they said that they have spoke to you, so I was just going to call and touch base and introduce myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it's going to be
okay. Yep. I just spoke with. Just got off the phone with him a few minutes ago. Yep.
yeah. So I was just calling to touch base, get your contact information, and that way we could all get this streamlined.
Sure. Absolutely. Um, yeah. So I'm working up their file right now. So I'm a shared loan specialist here. So my job's kind of like get everything set up. They always throw like my contact information in their interim until we get a loan officer assigned. So I should have a loan officer assigned on their file here in about 5 to 10 minutes. And the LO will actually issue out their pre-approval letter, and then they kind of basically take everything. I hand the file off to them, and then they take everything from basically this point till closing, post closing, etc. But yeah, like I can share like pretty much like any info you need on the file in the interim, and then follow up with LO contact info once I have that on file here.
Okay, perfect. That would be great. And I had a question.
Sure.
They had said, and I don't know if it was you or someone else that they had spoke to. I'm assuming that you all have a referral probably program and that they had been linked up with another agent, but we do have a signed buyer's representation agreement. So I didn't know what all was going on with that on your all's end of things.
Okay. So alrighty. So basically, okay. So are you saying like you've been representing them for a while, and then um, they? So yeah, it looks like they. Obviously I wasn't aware of that, but they had just called into to our. So we have Veterans United Realty. It's like our sister company, and they're basically like a referral network for real estate agents. And then so it looks like they paired the VUR reps are supposed to ask them if they're in a buyer's agency agreement. So I'm not sure what happened there, but they paired them up with a there
Yes.
with it is that somebody in your brokerage or a completely different agent or
That's a completely different agent.
oh okay
I have been long-term friends with, and so
okay
we had spoke about the process, but they were going to speak to you all first. And so
okay
we have a signed agreement now, but they had said that, whoever they had been paired up with had not had them sign one yet, and she had already scheduled a showing. So I was just a little bit concerned as to how that process works.
oh okay yeah that's something that I'm not exactly sure what the how that all plays out. I work on the like the mortgage side of the house, and then we have like these Veterans United reps that kind of handle all the agent relations, and then figuring out all the legalities on the agreements and everything. Let me see if I can. Okay, so my contact was over at. She's a realty coordinator over at VUR. I can have her kind of dig into this. Let's see here, because basically, I don't know what the exact workflow is if
No,
like
I
they're
think
already in.
they were just kind of led, and again, this may not have even been you. I think they were just kind of led to believe that if they were going to go with Veterans United, that they had to partner up with someone within what
Oh,
referral partnership company, sister company, whatever that may have been.
okay, yeah, that's not true. Like we can definitely work with work with you on as a real estate agent. I know that for a fact.
Right, and
Um,
I told them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And we had no idea. I'm because like our realty coordinators are supposed to, at least ask them. So maybe they might have not been aware of like being under the agency agreement and everything, or forgot about it, or not. Yeah. Yeah. So there might have been some miscommunication there. But okay. Well, yeah. So let me get your contact info, and then I'll get you added onto the file and everything, and then I'll let the realty coordinator kind of follow up with because I haven't spoken with her. Like, she hasn't tried to call her or anything yet. But and I'll let them, figure out. Like, no, I'm guessing they'll probably like pull her off the file and be like, hey, we didn't know that they were already, in an agreement type deal. And but yeah, all right. So yeah, we'll get this all squared away here for you. I apologize.
You can clearly see how quick the tone of the conversation shifted, and that did not sit right with me. After I got that squared away, I called Veterans United Realty directly.
Members and veterans in all their realty needs. Veterans United Realty is not endorsed or sponsored by the Department of Veterans Affairs or any government agency. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. To speak to a representative, press 1.
Veterans United Realty, this is how can I help you?
Yes, I had a question. I am a local realtor, and several of the agents within my office, we've all kind of shared the same experience, and I was going to see if you could kind of shed some light on this. It's my understanding that you all are affiliated with the Veterans United, what is it, the home loan service?
Yes.
Okay, and so what has happened, especially a lot going on recently, is that our clients that we have been, working with and we already have a relationship with, once they're getting in contact, they seem to be getting referred to you all under the guise that it's something that they have to do. Is there any way you could elaborate on this for me?
Okay, so you have a client and they're a veteran, and then you refer them to Veterans United Home Loans?
Well, we always, refer locally, but they've taken it upon themselves to call Veterans United Home Loans. Yes.
Yeah, so we do have, it's, I guess, half of the company is the mortgage side, and then half of it is the real estate side, so we're Veterans United Realty.
Uh huh.
If they don't have a buyer's agreement, we do ask if they want to interview an agent in our network to get a discount on their interest rates. It's the savings. So if they don't have a buyer's agreement and they're open to interviewing one of our agents, then we connect them with one of our agents.
And so if they already have a buyer's representation agreement with an agent, they do not get the discount on their interest rate?
Yes, because they would have to use one of our agents.
Okay, and I know obviously this is not your doings, but how is that ethical? You know what I mean?
I mean, if it's up to them. If they are open to interviewing agents, we can't tell them no.
I'm sorry, say that again.
If they're open to interviewing agents and they haven't committed to anyone, that's ethical for them to interview agents to make sure they're getting the best fit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely understand. And I'm obviously on board for interviewing more than one agent. But I'm saying, if, how is that? I guess, in their best interest, if they already know someone and have a relationship and they do have an agency agreement, why they wouldn't
Yeah,
be, especially as a veteran, getting a perk for their service.
yeah. If they have a buyer's agreement, we don't touch it. They can stay with their agent. So it's only if they don't have a buyer's agreement and they're open to interviewing another agent.
Okay, well, I think what's happening is that they're kind of under the impression that in order to use the Veterans United Home Loans, am I saying that correctly? Veterans
Yeah,
United Home Loans. I think what's been happening is that they're just kind of under the minds that they have to use, a referral system, a referral agent. Because what's happened is, within my office specifically, there's been 2 instances this week where the buyer is saying, well, they said that we have to use one of their agents instead of just, oh, well, they said that they have an agent if we don't have one, or they, I'm sorry, or that they, can use another agent. Does that make sense?
yeah. No, we definitely don't tell them that they have to. We just bring up the benefit that they get, and we ask if they're working with an agent and if they want to interview another agent. That's all we do. We don't tell them that they have to use one of our agents.
Right. Okay, I think I just needed a little bit more of an understanding, but yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and that's pretty industry standard for referral networks. They usually have partner agents that, they always ask, do you have an agent? No, you do. Do you have an agreement? Do you want to interview? Yes. All right, here's another agent you can interview. So that's pretty standard with, I think, most big referral networks.
So you ask them if they have an agent, and if they say yes, you all say, do you have a buyer's representation agreement?
Yeah, if they say no, then we say, are you willing to, interview another agent, or are you pretty set? And trust me, I get like 50% of the time, they're like, nope, I'm pretty happy with my agent. Okay, awesome. If you need one down the road, just let us know. And the 50% that say, no, I'll interview one of your agents, that's fine. That means they don't have that strong of a relationship with the agent, and they're willing to talk to other agents.
Right. No, and again, this is not directed towards you, obviously.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Excuse me, but it sounds to us that have already we've been screwed over a couple of times. And again, it doesn't sound like it's you. It's just other people ruin it for everyone.
No, I understand, and it happens both ways too. I mean, there's a lot of agents that will say, "Well, here you should talk to this lender," and so it's just, we just want to make sure that they get the best fit, But yeah, I understand the question and the frustration.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So in this filed complaint, it's alleged that preferred agents were required to pay a 35% referral fee to remain within the Veterans United network. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happened here. I'm saying that whenever I started to hear discount tied to using agents, and then I've later read about these allegations, it's starting to raise some serious concerns. According to the complaint, Veterans United Home Loans is registered as a fictitious name and is wholly owned by Mortgage Research Center, LLC, which is a Missouri corporation. The complaint also references leadership individual and notes based on public LinkedIn profiles that certain executives have not served in the military. Now again, this is why I always refer my clients to local lenders. That is the local difference. Whenever I refer someone to someone local, I'm going to know where their office is. I'm going to know who they're talking to because their reputation lives within our community. And if something goes wrong, I can show up and sit across the desk from them and ask what's going on. Here in Kentucky, reputation does matter. Now, this video is not a verdict. This is just a proposed lawsuits, and these are only allegations. But whenever I'm on the phone with a client and my phone dings with an agent that they've never spoke to and they're scheduling a listing, when I heard backpedaling on a recorded phone call, and when I later read about a complaint alleging that steering and referral structures are being brought up, I really feel like it's starting to confirm something that I already believed and had begun to speak about. Marketing can be loud, but accountability is local. And if you've ever served this country before, you deserve so much more than transparency, not a funnel.